One of those attending is Jeff Webb. He's a current Turning Point USA speaker and CEO of Human Events Media Group. Jeff, welcome to the show. And first, I want to pay my condolences. I'm so sorry for your loss because I know you and Charlie went back years. You knew him personally. You met him when he was just 24 years old. So I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
Can you? Yeah, I have no doubt. Can you share the impact he had and, of course, the legacy he's leaving behind?
Well, his impact so far has already been amazing. I mean, look at what's happening today. I mean, look at the coverage. Look, there could be up to 200,000 people here in Phoenix today. That's kind of what they're projecting. And Charlie's impact went beyond just the youth. That's where he started. As far as the conservative movement, the Turning Point movement, people weren't really paying attention there because they figured that all the young people were going to be on the left, and they weren't voting. But he had great conviction and commitment, and he started with the colleges. And believe me, it's gone much further now. Again, as you can see from these pictures, they're not just young people. They're people of all ages and from all over the country, literally from all over the world. And that was the momentum that the Turning Point movement had, and that's going to carry on. I don't think there's any question about that. In
just a few hours, Kirk's memorial service will begin. You will be there as well. Jeff, what's the most important message people should take away from not only today, but listening to Charlie over the last few years?
Well, I think Charlie, again, had great conviction about this country and the goodness of its people, and the importance of bringing that out, of giving them a way to express that and to join together and to move the country forward. And he was also a great optimist. He had, again, as people have said, he truly was a generational leader. It's going to be impossible to completely replace, but there's some great people that are coming forward that he really had an impact on, that I think will carry the torch. But he's going to be remembered for really getting this movement going and bringing people, giving them voice, giving young people who really were lost, who felt ostracized, who weren't respected. He gave them a platform. He gave them a group to be a part of. He gave them confidence and self-esteem.
There's no doubt that Kirk's message resonated strongly with many young Americans. Why was he especially poised to connect with those younger voters?
You know, again, he had this personality. He had everything. I mean, he had charisma. He was funny. He had respect for everyone. I mean, I've seen him be at a microphone where he was debating and people, were frankly calling him every name you can think of. He never made it personal. He always focused on policy, and he was just so smart and so compelling that people who felt like they had a connection joined him and moved forward. And again, you've got these Turning Point chapters all over the country, and those are going to be increasing exponentially.
This week, Turning Point announced that his wife, Erica, will lead the organization. We were told that Charlie said if there was his untimely death, he wanted his wife to take over. How would you like to see Erica continue her husband's movement and move Turning Point forward?
Well, Erica is a force, and people saw just a little bit of that the other night. And I think that she's going to do an amazing job. I think there's no one else who's really in a situation to carry on the way Charlie would want. And this is what he wanted. I have every confidence she's going to be amazing.
Yeah, he joked that she's more conservative than he was. Now, Erica Kirk said days after Charlie was assassinated, and you're right, she came up. A lot of people didn't know her. She is a force. And she said this, quote, "You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife." With that said, Jeff, what is something she'll bring to the table as CEO that may be a bit different than her husband?
Well, she is a different person, and she's a little more laid back. I mean, Charlie was very intense, again, great to be around, but she just brings this goodness. And it's hard to explain, but when you're with her in person, she has strong conviction herself. She's very strong, but she just had this goodness and likability, and I think that's going to be really important.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.